Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cakeman Entertainment. In today's Clone Wars podcast, we will be going through the Toydaria Arc. The first episode in this arc is labelled Supply Lines, with the opening crawl stating where there's a will, there's a way. Here we are introduced to the Ryloth freedom fighter Cham Syndulla, father of Hera Syndulla from Rebels, and Jedi Master D. D's Outer Rim fleet, which have the ground forces' food, fuel, and ammunition, are under heavy fire from the Separatists, so they contact the Jedi Council in search of help. They drop a diplomatic mission onto Bail Organa to negotiate with Toydaria, a nearby planet, in order to get the relief supplies to Ryloth in time. Count Dooku's tactical droid intercepts this transmission and sends his own Separatist Senator Lot Dodd to interfere and disrupt this mission. Then we are welcomed to one of the most hated characters in Star Wars movie history, Jar Jar Binks. Now let me be the first to say, the Clone Wars version of Jar Jar is a lot more tolerable than the movie version. Don't get me wrong, he ain't the Darth we all hoped for, but he's still slightly better. Senator Lot Dodd, who clearly works for the Separatists, interrupts and has a back and forth political argument with Bail about Toydaria becoming a relief base for the Republic. I'm just gonna say it. These Trade Federation idiots are the most annoying C-words in the Star Wars universe. All they do is argue in the most conniving ways just to get money, but the moment of relief occurs in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin slaughters them down. The planet of Toydaria is one of many neutral systems that want no part in the Clone Wars, similar to Mandalore, which we will see down the line. The pacifist ways of their people is understandable, but the king still allows for them to give some supplies for 2 rotations. A quote I heard recently from the Bad Batch is that eventually we all have to pick a side. This is ever present in the Clone Wars, as Toydaria may not want to get involved, but as we see later in this arc and in later seasons, they are forced to choose due to higher powered beings persuading them to do so. The fact that Master D points this out shows that even some Jedi follow the Jedi Order to the letter, but in their minds they are confused on why the leaders of the Jedi only help and react after a political leader has attempted first. There's no simple thing such as help the helpless. It has to go through a massive political process before the Jedi can be dispatched. The Jedi are basically pawns to the king of politics, being Palpatine. Bail hatches a plan to sneak the ships past the senators, and Jar Jar actually has a bit of a funny scene to distract them while the ship goes past them, which we can see through the window. Master D and his battalion of troopers have their final head on the battle with the droids. They do this to ensure the innocent Ryloth people can escape. Master D and his clone captain then get their final standoff scene against a huge wave of droids. The scene ends with the Jedi and the clone's death, the high-pitched flute background emphasizing the sadness in the scene, with another life being taken from this never-ending war. But the comm chatter incites hope that the sacrifice wasn't without vain. To finish the episode, the Toydarian king realizes that the neutrality of his system may need to alter, and he recognizes the kindness in the acts of the Republic in helping innocents, so he is open to a meeting with the Grand Master, Yoda. The next episode, labeled Ambush, begins with this is ever present with the likes of Master Yoda, which we will see throughout this episode. This episode is essentially the Republic and the Separatists eyeing out Toydaria as a base for their operations, with Yoda and Ventress being the voices of reason for each side. Yoda is challenged by Ventress to survive her battalion of droids, and of course he does so with ease. But before we get to the end of the episode, there are a few key moments. Yoda genuinely appreciates the life and environment around him.
To reach our goal, a straight path we will not follow.
This resonates even within our own lives. The straight path isn't always the correct path. The one that bends and twists but eventually gets you to where you want to be is a better path, a more interesting path. Inside a cave, the clones are less than enthusiastic about their current situation as they find themselves outnumbered and outgunned. Yoda gives his troopers a small lesson about them being individuals, despite their origin as clones, and that it is their mind which makes them strong, not their numbers or weapons. Something that always is apparent for the good guys, as they are generally outnumbered compared to large numbers of evil forces. We get some epic Yoda ass-whooping action, absolutely annihilating the droid battalion without breaking a sweat. But then more droids are sent behind him while he is fighting, and this is the moment the clones have to help him. They launch the last rocket, destroying the droids, thus the quality over quantity wins again. Dooku tells Ventress to kill the king, but Master Yoda arrives just in time, stopping Ventress mid-swing. He He even goes as far as analyzing where she is at, but showing how much stronger he is compared to her. To conclude the episode, King Katunka gladly accepts Yoda's offer to join the Republic, and the Republic gunships come to retrieve the group. Now let's move on to the ratings. For supply lines, I give a 6 out of 10. It was a decent episode with some cool moments, in particular with Master D and Captain Keeley, but was definitely a bit boring in certain segments, in particular the Jar Jar and Bail Organa moments. For Ambush, I give a 8 out of 10. This episode holds a special place in my heart as it's the first episode of Clone Wars I saw, and it showed me the epicness, power, and wisdom of Master Yoda. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts, and as usual, these ratings are my own personal opinion, so let me know in the comments below what you thought of this arc. Until next time, the Force will be with you. Always.